Thank you so much and welcome. But we see that you were born in Rivers State and your state seemed to be burning. What's happening in Rivers State?
Okay, so the fight between the former governor of Rivers State and the FCT minister and the current governor is about sharing money. If not, what's the quarrel? Nigerians don't dislike corruption again, because I've not seen anybody on the street shouting about what is the quarrel. Can both of them speak to the public and tell us what the quarrel is about? And then we are now denied democracy. So the Rivers State is the only state in the country that can practice democracy. They've imposed a military rule on us. Secondly, is the fact that the president acted outside the constitution. Section 188 states how a governor can leave office, either by death or by resignation or by impeachment. It didn't say that one day you wake up and one man called the president of Nigeria will just wake up and throw you out of office. It makes democracy unstable. So that's what's going on in Rivers State.
Right. And who do you suspect has a hand in all this?
The president.
What about the FCT minister?
It's between the president and the FCT minister. One, the president wants a power grab. They want to frighten governors who may likely not support them for 2027. And so the rumor is everywhere. If you're not careful, the president will remove you. If you're not careful, the president will remove you. So this is all about sharing money and 2027 politics.
But he's not the first president to do this. The
first person to do it was President Obasanjo, and he was thoroughly criticized. They tried to challenge him in court. Unfortunately, the process did not get to the end. The next person is President Goodluck Jonathan. But President Goodluck Jonathan knew the law. The Attorney General to President Goodluck Jonathan, Mohammed Bello, did the right thing. He knew what the law was and refused to advise the president to remove the governor. So Goodluck Jonathan did not remove the governor. He left the governor. In fact, forget the governor. He left the democratic institutions as they are. The next person is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who then infringed on the constitution, and it's an impeachable offence because he has sworn that he will keep to the constitution.
Right. Now,
welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. That was the former governor of Rivers State, Chibuike Rotimi Amaechi, who was also the former Minister of Transportation of Nigeria, speaking about the state of Nigeria, particularly about the state of Rivers State presently. It was in an interview that he granted to Deutsche Welle, the German public state-owned broadcast station, which has generated a lot of interest. Of particular interest to me was that he had the courage of his own conviction to call what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did when he imposed state of emergency in Rivers State based on Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, and remove or suspended the state governor Simi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu, and suspended also the State House of Assembly. And Chibuike Amaechi was very emphatic about the fact that what Tinubu did was a violation of the Constitution and that it was an impeachable offense. You know, many people have not been courageous enough to call it what it was, or what it is. Right from the day that Fubara was suspended illegally in violation of the Constitution, that what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did was an impeachable offense. He is the first person that I know of who is a top political figure in Nigeria, somebody of weight, to call it what it is, that Tinubu committed an impeachable offense. The first time I heard this was when somebody was talking about it and suggested that this Ruben Abati of Arise TV had suggested that it could be an impeachable offense, but Amaechi was forthright in stating it, the obvious, because if you act against the Constitution, you swore to protect, as Amaechi pointed out. One of the, as you are being sworn, you are swearing in to protect the Constitution. When you violate it, it's an impeachable offense. It's purely true. It's a gross misconduct, abuse of power. And Amaechi was right to point this out. Of course, Amaechi himself knew that even though it was an impeachable offense, if you listen to the whole interview, he expressed lack of confidence in the legislature, even though he said he didn't want to criticize them because he was once a legislature, a speaker. But he didn't have anything good to say about Nigerian legislators. Therefore, it means that we don't have a parliament that could have held Tinubu accountable. That was why he was operating with impunity, because nobody could hold him accountable. Is it this rubber stamp National Assembly that will draw his attention that he violated the Constitution by sacking duly elected governor and his deputy, by sacking the State House of Assembly? It's not going to happen. But Amaechi has the courage of his own conviction to point out that what Tinubu did in Rivers State was a violation of the Constitution, and it was an impeachable offense, and it's still an impeachable offense if we had a National Assembly that can hold the president accountable. Unfortunately, we don't have it. So that's why he could get away with it, like so many things he had gotten away with, including when he bought a presidential jet, which was, if not for Sahara reporters that exposed what they did in France and everything else, nobody knew that they had bought a plane, a presidential jet and all that. And they didn't ask him any question. They didn't ask him. So many things are going on in this country. But this one is a particular case that ordinarily would have shaken Tinubu to the level. But who can raise impeachment motion against Tinubu? Nobody in the present National Assembly. So it's unfortunate. So Amaechi, kudos to him for having the courage of his conviction to say it loud, and didn't just say it in a local station. He said it in an international station, and that is good for democracy in Nigeria. And Amaechi also, I like the way he put it, that Tinubu has also weaponized state of emergency. That the word out there is that Tinubu has now weaponized state of emergency. That ahead of 2027, that governors are now being threatened that if you don't support Tinubu in 2027, you are going to get the Rivers State treatment. You are going to get the Fubara treatment. It has now become a weapon of political destruction. State of emergency has been weaponized as a weapon of political destruction. That's what Amaechi was saying. That is public knowledge now. It is widely known that governors are being threatened. Of course, that will be opposition governors. Now they have taken out Fubara and they are cooking up stories around Fubara that he did this, he did that. What are they doing? Is the sole administrator now the EFCC? Is the sole administrator now the ICPC? The sole administrator now the police? That is investigating a city elected governor, an imposter, somebody that is not recognized by the Constitution, which the Nigerian Bar Association has said. investigating a duly elected governor in a state. An aberration. So that is what the Amaechi is alluding to, that they are now using Rivers as an example to threaten other governors. And the Rivers case, Rivers is an opposition party, PDP. If you notice, recently there has also been calls for the governor of Zamfara State to be declared a state of emergency in Zamfara, another PDP state. There are growing calls. If you are following the newspapers, you see it. And that governor of Zamfara State is having a running battle with the Minister of State for Defense, Matawale, who was the person that Lawal defeated in 2023 to become governor. Matawale was made the Minister of State for Defense. They have been having a running battle with the governor, Lawal, who is of PDP. And several groups are now drumming up, issuing statements right, left, and center on why Tinubu should declare state of emergency in Zamfara, another PDP state. So what Amaechi says that there is a growing pattern of threatening opposition governors, of weaponization of state of emergency. So every governor have to be, who is not in APC, have to be looking over his shoulder while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is dangling emergency threat on those states. That's what Amaechi is saying. That's what he said. We heard him. And he's in a position to know. He's a top leader in APC. Even though he has condemned so many things they have done, he has not formally left APC. But he's saying all these things as an insider. The weaponization of state of emergency against the opposition governors ahead of 2027. That should be an important takeaway from this interview. He granted Doshavele TV. And he also made one critical point, that the fight going on in his state, Rivers State, is about the sharing of the money. It's about sharing of the money. That's what he's saying. Sharing of the money, power grab against 2027. Because basically, if you ask, what did Fubara do? What was his offense in December 2023, barely 6 months after he became governor, that they wanted to impeach him, that out of frustration he bulldozed the State House of Assembly? Who does that? What was his offense? Because they agreed that they wanted to impeach him. They wanted to impeach this man 6 months after he became governor. What was his offense? What did he do that was an impeachable offense? Even those who wanted to impeach him lacked the courage of their own conviction to tell Rivers people the offense of Simi Fubara. All you hear is that he didn't do what the Godfather wanted him to do. What was it that the Godfather wanted him to do? What was it? I disagree with Chibuike. I disagree with Amaechi in the point that it's about the money. In terms of maybe Fubara want to keep part of the money to himself. No, I see it as a question of Fubara wanted protect the resources of the state against an overbearing godfather. That's where I agree with the issue of sharing of money. But it is obvious that it is all about the money. It's not about the interest of Rivers State. That's how Rivers State is the only state, like Amaechi pointed out now, that is being run by the military. No democracy in Rivers State. So if there is any case of insecurity in any place, state of emergency will be declared. But the president himself is the chief security officer. Somebody can also declare state of emergency against him because of insecurity across the country. He is the chief security officer. If it was because of insecurity that Fubara was suspended, as alleged that there was bombing of pipeline, as if pipelines are not being bombed in Niger Delta for decades. But my takeaway from this is that Amaechi has done what so many other leaders have not had the courage to say what it is. That what Tinubu did was an impeachable offense. And also made a revelation that Tinubu has weaponized state of emergency and is now using it to threaten governors to fall in line against 2027 election. How long this can continue, nobody knows how it will end. How long it can continue and how it's going to end, nobody can tell. It has started with Rivers. There are also people pointing at Zamfara. And so when it begin to go around all the opposition states, perhaps that's when Nigerians will know that we are now in a full-blown dictatorship. But for now, Amaechi has pointed out what I believe is the gospel truth, that what Tinubu did was an impeachable offense by removing a sitting governor. He has no powers to do that, no matter what anybody claims. All the people who should know better, including the Nigerian Bar Association, including most senior lawyers in Nigeria, and most people of conscience, they know that Tinubu violated the constitution by removing a duly elected governor and his deputy and sacking the State House of Assembly. I don't know what you think about this, that Tinubu committed impeachable offense, and that if not, that there was no checks on him, he stand possibility of being impeached, okay, and that he is weaponizing state of emergency to threaten lawmakers, to threaten governors who are opposed to him in 2027. That's a message from an insider. I think Nigerians should ponder over it as we continue to think, to reflect about the state of our democracy. You know that May 29 is just around the corner. Another time to look at democracy in Nigeria. How are we faring under the present situation that APC put this country? I don't know what to think about this, but whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.